area. And one of the other challenges when we first got into this was understanding, is it all in somebody's head? Because, you do a fancy dance around them and tell them you're going to make them better. Placebo effect is real. And one of the challenging things is when you squeeze somebody at 220 millimeters of mercury, they know that you're squeezing them.
They know something's happening, right?
Yeah. And when you just say, hey, I'm going to put this cuff on and not fill it up, it's pretty clear that you didn't. So that's been something that I think has sort of plagued that area of research, is in understanding, is this a real effect? And that's been a real focus for us in trying to pull that apart and say, is this a real effect? And are we actually making them faster? And if so, by how much?
And you guys did a great study to kind of tackle that, because I know we've seen the editorials, the problems with the performance side, but your nocebo study, where you did the sham ultrasounds and
I thought you were going right into that, Jamie. You made Johnny set you up there. Like, you're trying to be humble, and I'm like, no. Like, that was a great study. It really was, And it also, I think, as a physio, we all kind of saw ultrasound and people associated these positive things with ultrasound, and we all just kind of went, "Oh God, here we go. We're gonna go down this road again." But
well, I appreciate you guys saying that. In fairness, we can't really take full credit for that study. So credit where it's due to Sabino Carvalho and their group. They came up with the sham in the first place, where they were going to use the ultrasound. So we read their study, which was done on treadmills, and we went, what a great design. But for us, when you're using a treadmill and it's motor driven, that might affect what's going on in performance. And really what I mean by that is, compared to like a bike where we just blind people and we don't let them see what's going on. It's just work as hard as you can. And we get a real-time output, right? We get watts. Whereas when you have a motor-driven treadmill, we were worried that it might just be that you just kept up because you didn't want to go flying off the back. So if you guys run on treadmills ever, I mean, I know maybe I'm just lazy, but it's like I set the speed, it's kind of set and forget, right? I'll just keep up and not fall off. If I'm feeling great, I'm unlikely to bump it up. Or if I'm feeling, a little bit slower, I'll probably just suck it up. So we went, okay, how do we maybe change that a little bit? So we kind of tweaked that study. But for those who are not familiar with what we did there, the idea with this was to get a sham that people might not be able to figure out what it was, and they might have preconceived notions about what they thought was going to happen. And we let them kind of run with that. So in the one group, we did ischemic preconditioning, where they laid on the bed, and we, just as I described, we filled up the cuffs and let them go a few times. And then in the other group, we had an ultrasound, like a treatment ultrasound. And essentially what we did is we turned it on and went beep, 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 beep. And then we turned it right back off because they couldn't see it. And then we just rubbed ultrasound gel all over their leg for the exact same amount of time. What I think was neat about this study and really stuck with us is we also asked people, what did you think was going to happen? So when we compared the two arms of the study, it turns out, as we kind of expected, most people thought ultrasound should do something, because there is this prevalent belief that, it increases blood flow and that's going to be good. And right. So they all told us, oh yeah, I'm going to go faster after you did that ultrasound thing to me. And most people in our study did not understand what ischemic preconditioning was, nor did we really inform them. And they actually believed it should make them worse. And I can see why people would believe that, because, we inflicted a little bit of discomfort on them before, and they could figure out that we were cutting off blood flow, and they went, that can't make me better. Cut to the chase, what eventually happened was it was actually the opposite. So they believed they should go faster with ultrasound and slower with ischemic preconditioning, but they actually went faster with ischemic preconditioning. So that can't be a placebo effect if you thought the opposite thing should happen. So that was pretty compelling evidence.